Welcome again to the lecture series of signals. In the last lecture, we have seen how a general signal xt can be expressed in the form of complex exponentials. Means the signal xt can be expressed as summation of xt is equal to summation nh from minus infinite to plus infinite Cn e power j n omega naught t, where Cn is the Fourier coefficient. In this lecture, we will discuss how we can calculate value of Cn, which is Fourier coefficient. To calculate the Cn, we have to multiply both side of equation by e power minus j k omega naught into t and integrate and integrate for one time period. Because xt is a periodic signal, so if xt is periodic, we does not have to integrate the total whole signal. We have to integrate this signal only for a time period. So if we integrate, it will become integration over one time period xt, and we have to multiply with e power minus j k omega naught t minus j k omega naught t dt is equal to sigma n is from minus infinite to plus infinite Cn integration over one time period e power j n omega naught t into e power minus j k omega naught into t dt. Now this integration will become, this is summation n is from minus infinite to plus infinite, and here it is integration over one time period. Cn is outside of the integration. This will become e power j omega naught t into n minus k dt. Now consider this term e power j omega n minus k dt. We have to integrate this term. So if we write this signal e power j k e power j omega naught into n minus k t in the form of sine and cosine, we will write it as cos of n minus k omega naught t plus j sine omega naught into n minus k into t. The term e power j omega naught into n minus k into t can be written as cos of n minus k omega naught t plus j sine n minus k omega naught into t. Here, if n is not equal to k, and from here we can see that we have to integrate this signal over one time period. we have to integrate this signal over one time period. If we will integrate this signal over this one time period, there are two conditions. One, condition 1, when n is not equal to k. When n is not equal to k, when n is not equal to k, then if n is not equal to k, then this n minus k, this n minus k, n minus k will be an integer. Then suppose this is an integer I, then this integration will become integration over one time period cos of some integer I into omega naught t plus j sine of some integer I into omega naught t, integration over one time period dt. Now if we will integrate a cosine function over one time period and a sine function over one time period, both will give value equal to 0. Integration of cos omega t, cos some integer omega naught t for one time period will be 0. Integration of sine some integer into omega naught t over one time period, it will also be 0. So we can write it as this integration will result in 0 when n is not equal to k. And what will happen if n will be equal to k? When n will be equal to k, then if n will be equal to k, then this will become 0 and this will become 0 because n is equal to k. If n is equal to k, then n minus k will become 0. Here n minus k will become 0. When these two becomes 0, this integration will become cos of 0 means 1 dt over one time period plus this term become 0 because value of sine 0 is 0. It means that this will become 1 dt means integration of dt is t over one time period, it will become t. It means that this integration will result in 0 when n is equal to k, and this integration will result in capital T when n is equal to k, and it will result in 0 when n is not equal to k. So we have to consider this case when n is equal to k. Means previously the written expression was integration of xt e power minus j k omega naught t integration over one time period equal to sigma n is from minus infinite to plus infinite cn integration of e power j n minus k omega naught into t dt integration over one time period. This was the expression, and what we have seen is this term integration of e power j into n minus k omega naught t will result in 0. It will result in 0 when n is not equal to k, and this will result in t when n is equal to k. So I will put t in place of this integration directly, and this expression will become integration of xt e power minus j k omega naught t dt integration over one time period will be equal to Cn into capital T. Cn into capital. In place of n, I will write k here because n is equal to k, ck into t. From here, ck will become 1 upon capital T integration over one time period xt e power minus j k omega naught into t. This is Fourier coefficient. Now, because this n is equal to k, in place of k everywhere, we can replace it by n. So, the formula for the determination of Fourier coefficient will become Cn is equal to, it will become Cn is equal to 1 by t integration over one time period xt e power minus j n omega naught t dt. From here, we can determine the value of Cn in the Fourier series of the signal xt. If we want to find out the value of C naught, then we will put n equal to 0 and C naught will become 1 upon t integration over one time period xt e power 0 dt, and this will become C naught is equal to 1 by t integration of the signal xt over one time period. This is the value of the DC term obtained in the Fourier series. So remember these two, this one and this one, to represent a signal in the form of complex exponential Fourier series. Now, if C naught and Cn is known, we can write the Fourier series xt as xt is equal to sigma n is from minus infinite to plus infinite Cn e to the power j n omega naught t, where the value of Cn can be expressed in this form. Now, C naught is also known, so there is another way to express xt in the form of complex exponential, as it can be written as, first we will put value of n equal to 0, then we will get C naught, then I will write the summation as n is from minus infinite to plus infinite, where n is not equal to 0, because C naught is already we does not have to put n equal to 0 here. C naught is already we have, and here it is Cn e power j n omega naught t. This is another way of writing the Fourier series in the form of complex exponentials. Now, we will look into how we can obtain the trigonometric Fourier series from the complex exponential Fourier series. I will find the trigonometric form of the, how can we find the trigonometric form of the Fourier series from the given complex exponential Fourier series. Suppose a signal xt is expressed in the form of complex exponential Fourier series as Suppose a signal xt is expressed in the form of complex exponential series as xt is equal to summation n is from minus infinite to plus infinite cn e power jn omega naught t. Here the limit on the n is from minus infinite to plus infinite. We can break this limit as it is from minus n is an integer. So because n is an integer, it will take all possible integers from minus infinite to plus infinite. So we can break this limit in three parts as first we will take the limit from minus infinite to minus 1, then we will take n is equal to 0, then we will take n is from 1 to infinite. We can break this limit in this way. So when we will put n equal to 0, we will get c naught plus this is n is from minus infinite to minus 1, minus infinite to minus 1 cn e power jn omega naught t plus limit n is from 1 to infinite cn e power jn omega naught t. We can write the limit in this way also, and from here we can write the limit here as c naught plus, if we will take only positive values of n, we will convert this limit from minus infinite to minus 1 to n from 1 to infinite, but we will replace n by minus n. This will become c of minus n e power minus j n omega naught into t. Simply we have to replace this n by minus n in the limit and in the given expression also. Now the limit is from 1 to infinite. Here also the limit is from 1 to infinite. The limit is from 1 to infinite cn e power jn omega naught into t. When we will combine now, because limit on this summation is from 1 to infinite, here limit on this summation is also from 1 to infinite, we can combine these two summation as this xt is equal to c naught plus sigma n is from 1 to infinite c of minus n e to the power minus j n omega naught t plus cn e to the power j n omega naught t. We can write the exponential form of the Fourier series in this way also, where we will take limit only from 1 to infinite. When we will put these values of n in this equation, we will get c from minus 1 to minus infinite, and here we will get c from 1 to infinite, and c0 is here. So this is another form of this expression. Now in this expression we can put in place of e power minus j n omega t, in place of we will put e power j n omega naught t will be equal to cos of n omega naught t plus j sin n omega naught t, and in place of e power minus j n omega naught t, we can write cos of n omega naught t minus j sin n omega naught t. We have to put these values in the given expression here. So in the next line, this expression will become xt is equal to c naught plus sigma n is from 1 to infinite. In place of in place of e power minus j n omega naught t, we will write c of minus n. In place of this, I will write this, and this will become cos of n omega naught t minus j sin n omega naught t plus cn into, in place of e power j n omega naught t, I will write this expression cos n omega naught t minus j sin n omega naught t. And now this will become c naught plus sigma n is from 1 to infinite c of minus c sub minus n cos n omega naught t minus c sub minus n j, I will write j first, minus j c sub minus n sin of n omega naught t plus c sub n cos n omega naught t. Here this is plus because it is the e power j n omega naught t. I have to write here plus j sin n omega naught t. So the expression will become cn into cos of n omega naught t plus j cn into sin of n omega naught t. The expression will go like this. It will become c sub minus n cos of n omega naught t minus j into c sub minus n sin of n omega naught t plus c sub n cos n omega naught t plus j c sub n sin n omega naught t. Now we will combine these terms, cos n omega naught and here cos n omega naught. We will put them together and this expression will become c naught plus sigma n is from 1 to infinite cn plus c minus n, this c minus n and this cn, and we will take cos of n omega naught t common plus here we will take sin n omega naught t from here and sin n omega naught t from here common, and it will become cn minus c of minus n, here c sub n minus c sub minus n, here j is also common, sin of n omega naught t. This is c sub n plus c sub minus n cos of n omega naught t plus j c sub n minus c sub minus n into sin of n omega naught t. Remember the presentation of a signal xt in the form of trigonometric Fourier series that can be written in the form of sine and cosine signals as a naught plus sigma n is from 1 to infinite an cos n omega naught t plus bn sin n omega naught t. Now compare these two equations. Compare these two equations. We will get C naught is equal to A naught C naught is equal to A naught and An is equal to Cn plus C sub minus n and Bn is equal to Bn. From here we can compare both two. Bn will become J Cn minus C sub minus n. If we will put these coefficients in this way, we can relate the coefficients of the exponential Fourier series with the coefficients of the trigonometric Fourier series by using these three relations. Now look into these equations carefully. This is same as this is same in the form of the trigonometric Fourier series except of these coefficients. Here coefficient is an, here coefficient is bn. In this expression coefficient is cn plus c of minus n, here cn minus c minus n. So on comparing we can relate these coefficients as C naught is equal to A naught, An is equal to Cn plus C minus n and Bn is equal to J Cn minus C of minus n. So in this way we can relate the coefficients of the trigonometric Fourier series with the coefficient of the complex exponential Fourier series. This is all for this lecture. In the next lecture we will see how the coefficients of the complex exponential Fourier series can be obtained from the coefficients of the trigonometric Fourier series. Thank you.